Hey y'all, I'm here. I'm back with another review. Okay, so Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 16. Child, again, a lot of y'all not going to agree with what I have to say, and that's fine. We all are entitled to our own opinions, because Sutton pissed me off this episode, and I'm going to tell y'all when we get there, because she did it twice throughout this episode. It's not the first time she did it, and it really pissed me off, but let's get to it. So we go back to the dinner, okay, and let me see what really happened there. Erica was pretty much saying to Sutton, like, you might want to be careful with, like, what it is that you're saying, because pretty much, like, you'll get sued. Like, I think she said to her, she's like, do you want to get sued? Do you want to get sued? And Sutton is like, what are you talking about? And then Kyle and Dorit jump in and they're like, see, now you're threatening her, and that's the type of stuff she don't like. And Erica, she was like, I'm not talking about me. I'm saying that you might want to be careful about other people's names that you're putting in your mouth, talking about their health and all this other stuff, because he's not dead. Pretty much saying Tom will come for your ass if you keep trying to say shit. So then Dorit and Kyle kind of jump in, like I said, and was like, oh, well, you're kind of threatening her. And Erica, she's like, I'm not threatening you, I'm promising you. And she was like, and Erica was like, call me a liar again and I'm coming for you. So then Sutton is like, well, what does that mean? Like what does that mean? She said, just know that I'm gonna come for you. So then Sutton gets up and leaves because I'm being threatened and I won't sit here and be threatened and I won't sit here and be threatened. And it's just like, I'm gonna get there later. I'm gonna fucking get, no, cause Erica said it. And again, this is not for me to be saying that Erica is right in everything that she did or everything that she does, because she's not. But this has been said about Sutton by multiple people, multiple times throughout this season, and it's true. Erica pretty much said, cause Sutton ends up leaving out, and then Garcelle, I'm trying to think who followed her. Garcelle, Kyle, and maybe Kathy, I think, might have followed her outside. So everybody else is still sitting inside. And Erica was like, if you can sit up here in my face, right, and out of your mouth to my face call me a liar and say that I'm lying, then you should be able to sit there and take pretty much what it is that my response is. And then, hold on, where am I at? Because I lost my place. Yeah, so I'm confused because I have in my notes, I'm confused as to why everybody else is mad that Erica is mad that she was called a liar. That part doesn't make any sense to me at all. So then Kyle ends up saying, like, said Sutton pretty much like ran or whatever. And Erica said, like, on the side, she was like, she's a bitch or whatever, like at the end of the day. And so all little girls was outside trying to tell Sutton, like, you need to come back inside, but she left. And then, like, the way that I feel about that whole thing is, like, I'm going to touch on it later, is with this in particular situation. Because, put it like this, because I'm going to just say it now. Sutton has the, I won't say the ability. What's the word I'm looking for? She has the habit of running her mouth a lot, running her mouth very heavily and a lot. And then when people confront her about it or confront her about anything that she said or something that they don't like, she either gets up and she leaves or she cries. And that shit is gonna irk me. And I'm gonna touch on it when we get to the whole thing with her and Kyle in the store. But my whole thing about it is, and again, this is not for me to try to cape for Erica, but what I will give Erica, kind of like how I can't even remember who, because the Housewives blend in too much. But what I will give Erica is Erica did not get up and leave. None of these situations. This is the second dinner in a row that all of y'all, not all of y'all, but y'all have pretty much as a whole came to the table and was questioning her. And Erica, not one time, this time or the last time, did she get up and walk away from the table and leave out and be like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm not dealing with you. None of you hoes. Da, 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 da. She did it when Garcelle said her little thing, but that wasn't the same as the two dinners. Y'all was all coming on her. Now, she might have cried and everything, but she didn't get up and she didn't leave. And that's my problem with Sutton. And I would have to agree with Erica and Kyle when they both say, Sutton, you can't sit up. I would have to agree with that. If you're bold enough to sit in somebody's face and say to them, I think you're a liar, I think you're this, I think you're that, then you should be bold enough and strong enough to sit in front of them and not only take you, not to say that you got to accept what Erica is saying, but you need to be, like Kyle ended up saying later, you need to be stronger and push back for yourself because you're coming off extremely weak. Kyle did not lie about that. And I'm fucking tired of it as far as Sutton is concerned, because she's making super valid points. Everything that Sutton is saying, she's not lying. Every question that Sutton has is legit. Every argument, everything that Sutton has to say about this thing with Erica, it's legit, but it's falling flat for me because you are bitching out every single time the situation comes up. You're backpedaling. You're not standing on your own 2 feet. You're freaking running away and you're crying. It's annoying. It's really freaking annoying as far as I'm concerned. So then, oh, and also, because I see a lot of y'all online in general saying that Erica was bullying her. Y'all need to stop. I swear to gosh, I don't understand. And it's mostly white people's propensity with the freaking word bullying. Y'all use it wrong. A lot of y'all use it so wrong and y'all apply it to the wrong situations. Was Erica aggressive? Was she doing the absolute most? I don't want to say absolute most, but was she being very aggressive and very volatile and all of that? Yes, but what Erica did, that was not bullying. Bullying is picking on somebody, is purposefully picking on somebody that you know cannot stand up for themselves. And as they showed multiple times throughout the season, Erica has not only come for Sutton, she done cursed out the Reed before, she done cursed everybody out at one point in time, in this group. That was not bullying. That was somebody coming for her and her response to it. Now, it might not have been the most proportionate response, but that's not bullying. Stop with that word. Y'all, I swear to gosh, white women love the word bullying and y'all love to put that on somebody when that's not what it is. Y'all need to actually see what real bullying is. That's not fucking bullying. That's not bullying. So just bring it down, y'all. Y'all pissing me off. Because it's in the Housewives in particular that they always want to use the word bullying, and then they take that word bullying because it's so fucking loaded, and y'all put that on somebody when that's not the case. Just like Garcelle said about Dorit. I'm not fucking bullying you. Cut the shit. Not bullying you at all. Okay? So Garcelle and Lisa hang out, and Garcelle talks about how she hopes everybody acts better, because she's throwing a Haitian dinner for everybody, okay? Now, she says, Garcelle, because Lisa was like, I was so drunk, I really don't remember what happened or whatever, which that's bullshit. They just needed a reason to talk about the situation again, but whatever. So Garcelle was like, I called Sutton and I talked to her and she's just so shook up. Another thing of Sutton I'm fucking tired of. Sutton pulls the white woman in distress card a little bit too much for me. And it goes into the whole thing about her not standing up for herself and not being strong and right in what she said. The minute that somebody says something, because she didn't just do it with them, she did the same thing with Crystal. The minute that Sutton doesn't have a response, and a lot of times she doesn't, because like I said, Sutton does not know how to read and she's not good with comebacks, which is why to me Sutton is having a hard time on the show. She's not good with that type of stuff. So because she doesn't have anything to say back a lot of times, she pulls the white woman in distress card and starts crying. That's a fact. That's what she does, and it's fucking annoying. But anyway, Garcelle says to Lisa, I feel like there's a divide between, I think it's me, Sutton, and Crystal, and then the rest of you guys, I don't feel like you ever have my back. And Lisa was like, really? And she was like, yeah, with the whole thing with Erica, like, you literally was taking Erica's side of you, like, oh, how could she da-da-da-da-da-da. That's true. That was phony as fuck, Lisa. Mark that. And then Garcelle said that when the whole thing with her and Dorit was going back and forth, that Lisa didn't jump in to try to help her. Now, I will say on this part, I disagree with you, Garcelle. I agree with Lisa when she said that wasn't her place. I would agree, because if Lisa was to jump into that conversation that had absolutely nothing to do with her, I would have been like, bitch, shut up. Even if she was defending Garcelle, that's not her place. So I disagree with Garcelle on that point. But the whole thing about Erica, I would have to agree. And then Lisa points out some little nitpicking stuff because she's like, I just feel like Garcelle is nitpicking with me at this point. And it's like, y'all, this is what really kills me about all of you bitches on this show. Y'all love to go around and say, if you have a problem with me, bring it to me. If you have a problem, say it to my face. If you don't like something I'm doing, say it to me. So then Garcelle is one of the few people on any of the Housewives, period, any of the franchises, who will say to somebody's face, I have a problem with this, that, and the third. And then y'all still turn around and get offended and get all up in y'all fucking chest. At least she said it to you, period. So, oh yeah, and Lisa said that the reason why she didn't speak up for Garcelle is because she believes she's with Dorit. She feels like Garcelle be taking jabs and stuff like that at Dorit. She does not, but we'll get there. So, Kyle and Sutton, okay, they go to this little place or whatever that is going to be like an auction, but they get to look at it early, right? So they're going through all of that stuff. Now, they get to talking about the dinner. Now, sorry, I'm trying to get the names right because so many. Sutton said that she was annoyed by the fact that everybody else at the table was like, say more, say more, say more. That part I would agree with, because what Sutton ended up saying later, which is true, is that all you hoes, y'all got all y'all opinions, but y'all want me to say it. None of y'all got the balls at all. Now, granted, I did say that Sutton to me is a little weak, and she is, and we'll get there in a second, but I will give her the fact that at least she said it, and the rest of y'all hoes did not. Now, she might have been pushed to say it, but she did fucking say it. And so I do agree with Sutton's thing about y'all all pretty much just want me to be the one to get jumped on and me the one to be looking like the bad guy, and none of y'all want to say anything at all. I said that last week. I agree with that. Kyle said that the problem was that you weren't keeping the same energy, and she didn't, and that's a fact. And Bravo rolled the footage back to show. And then Sutton walks away crying. And this is when I put in my notes and I kind of stopped. Listen here, bitch. Listen, Sutton. For you to be on this show, you're gonna need thick skin, okay? You can't every single time somebody says something that you don't like, or somebody says something that hurts your feelings, you can't walk away and cry every single time. Not on the show. This is not the fucking show for that. You need to get thicker skin, and you need to do better as far as your comebacks are concerned, because I really feel like that's what it is. Sutton does not know how to, she don't know how to back and forth. She don't know how to volley back and forth, especially when it comes to reading, and she doesn't know how to do that. So what she does is she cries and she walks away. And that shit is annoying, specifically on reality TV. Because for all of that, there's no point of you being on this show. If you're not going to stand strong on what the fuck it is that you're saying and drag these bitches, because that's the thing, Sutton, you're better than me. Because see, if I was sitting at both of those dinners, I would have put our Erica on pause, and I would have dragged the ever-living shit out of every single person sitting at that table and been like, well, bitch, you had this to say, Kyle. You had that to say, Doree. You had this to say. You had that to say. You had that to say. So I'm confused as to why none of you bitches want anything to say now. And that's Sutton's problem. Sutton gets way too, I don't know if it's flustered or frustrated, and she gets up and she walks away. Like I said, you did it earlier. You did it at the dinner with Erica, when instead of you getting the fuck up and crying and walking away because Erica said something about, oh, well, do you want to get sued? And I won't be threatened. Bitch, you should have sat right at your table, like somebody said on Twitter, and been like, bitch, sue me. What money you got to fucking sue me? Let's be real. What money do you or fucking Tom have to fucking sue me? That's what a seasoned housewife would have done. A seasoned housewife would have not got the fuck up and left and cried. Nah, we gonna sit at this table. We gonna get this shit the fuck done. That's why Erica was able to do it, because she's been on this show long enough, so she kind of knows how it goes. I'm gonna give you some clearance because this is only your second season, but let's not go past the season Sutton anymore. And you doing this every time you get confronted, you want to stand up, walk away, and cry. You did the same thing earlier this season with Crystal. You go back and forth with Crystal, and because she said that you were jealous and that struck a nerve with you, you did not know how to respond correctly. So you got up, you walked away, and you cried, and then you tried to give Crystal a tired, lazy ass read. Same thing with Kyle. You need to stand up for yourself, be a little bit more stronger, and drag the fuck out of these bitches. Stop allowing them to get to you so much to the point to where you are crying and walking away. Because again, that means to me, for me personally, everything that you're saying now, it falls flat because you're full of shit, okay? You're full of shit as far as I'm concerned, as far as, like I said, the energy that you're keeping. That's all. That's all. So, like I said, Sutton says after that, because she comes back and talks to Kyle, and she says in her confessional, she was like, no, she said to Kyle, she was like, I feel like all of y'all are scared of Erica and y'all want me to do it. I would have to agree. All of them bitches, for whatever reason, they're all scared, with the exception of Garcelle, are scared of Erica. That's an obvious fact, okay? And if I was Sutton, when I'm at the table with all of them bitches, that's what I would say. And then Kyle was like, you back down. The way I look at it is both of y'all was wrong. Like, you back down and you was kind of weak, which is true. And she said, and then Erica, I didn't like the way she talked to you. She did a lot. That's true too. Just stand up for yourself. So then we get over to Dorit. And my question is, how does Dorit have sex with PK? PK is, to me personally, he's just very creepy. He's so fucking creepy. There's nothing to me about him that would make a woman be attracted to him. I don't know. I just feel like PK is so weird. And my main problem with PK is PK, out of all of the husbands on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, he's the most that stay in women's business. He always got some fucking shit to say, kind of like Peter Thomas on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You always in women's business. Mind your business. I heard what he said, but to be quite honest, I really don't care. The only thing is they talked about how Erica's acting on social media and how she's promoting like this lingerie line, and it's like, oh, but what about the victims? And I don't give a fuck, because I don't care about what PK has to say. It doesn't matter. Dinner time. Garcelle looked fucking beautiful, okay? Now, Lisa and Garcelle are normally the first people to show up. So of course Lisa gets there first, and Garcelle comes down and talk to her, and she was like, hey, tell me why when we was upstairs with my glam squad, I was like, we all gonna sit on 3 who we think is gonna get here last. We was like 1, 2, 3, and even I said Dorit, and Lisa laughed, and she was like, I don't think it'll be Dorit. I think she said Kathy. And that makes sense to me, though. That's a good pick. And so Garcelle was like, look, how about we put $20 on it? Let's just see whoever comes. So then I think, who came first? It was Crystal who came, and then after that, Dorit showed up. And Dorit, you looked cute. But Dorit, Garcelle came to the door. She was like, oh my gosh, it is Dorit. And then she told her, she was like, we made a bet about who would come last, and I said it was you, and she said it was Kathy, da 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 da. So then Dorit in her confession was like, oh, is that what it is? Or were you just making another unnecessary jab? Bitch, it's not bruh. Ooh, and next week when Garcelle tells Dorit to shut up, I can't wait. Because Dorit, you're creating a problem that's not there. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Dorit does not have a fucking storyline this season. Her wannabe storyline is the fact that she got these little wedding dresses coming up, but that's not a real storyline. So to create drama that's not there, she's taking everything that Garcelle's and she's making it a big deal. How is it a jab? This is how I would look at it. I feel like it would be shady in a jab if she just kept it between her and Lisa. But the minute you walked through the door, she was honest again for the 15th time. I don't understand how Garcelle is telling y'all shit to y'all fucking face and y'all still have an issue. She literally said to your face as soon as you walked in the door, we made a bet, and it was all in fun. And to be quite honest, Dorit, I said your name too, because everybody knows the majority of the time, Dorit, you're the last person to come because you be doing what you doing with your little fashionista moment. So a lot of times you are the last person. It's true. It's not a jab. It's facts. We're going off of fucking historical data, bitch. Where am I at on time, y'all? Okay, I think I'm doing okay. Sorry. I'm like, y'all know I always have my hair like half unwrapped and half wrapped, whatever, because I be doing shit. Anyway, so then they get to the table, and Dorit starts talking and talking and talking and talking, and everybody's just looking around the table like, and even Kyle is like, girl, nicely, girl, shut up. So then they eat or whatever. Lisa kind of complains a little bit about the fish, but how she's here, but who gives a fuck? So Kyle brings up what happened at the shop or whatever with her and Sutton. So Sutton apologizes to Kyle. Now the whole time that Sutton is talking to Kyle, Erica's like this on her phone. She's like, yeah, it's obvious. I mean, fun. So the night ends or whatever, okay, and they had brought up something that somebody had on, but it was at the meeting that all of the girls was at except Erica. So it got a little uncomfortable because the Garcelle, she was like, don't. And I was like, why not? Erica, she was like, why not? She was like, oh, because it was, happened that night that you wasn't there or whatever. So at that point, it gets really, really awkward and really quiet. So then Dorit's like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave. So then Dorit, Lisa, and Erica leave. So it's only Crystal. At this point, it's Crystal, Sutton, Garcelle, and Kyle, because Kathy didn't come. So Sutton pretty much says that she was annoyed by the whole situation because she was pushed to have a conversation that she didn't want to have at dinner. And I rewinded it because I wanted to make sure I was right when she said that. Sutton said she was annoyed because she was pushed to have a conversation that she did not want to have at that dinner. And this is again where I have to call, and I feel bad. I feel bad because I feel like I'm just coming for Sutton, and that's not my intention. My intention is for her to keep the same energy, girl. But again, like I said, everything else that she said about Erica, all of her, that sounds like a lie. I agree with all of that. But again, you got to keep the same energy, bitch. That's a lie. When you were with Kyle, You said to Kyle, and Bravo showed that footage again this episode, that you said to Kyle, when I see Erica, I'm going to bring all of that stuff up. I'm going to tell her I feel like she's lying. I feel like this is that and the third. And not only that, but that same day before, literally hours before you got to that dinner, you were on the phone with Garcelle and out of your own mouth and said, I have beef with Erica, and when I see her, I'm going to say everything it is that I want to say. But when she was in front of you and you asked her, could we have a conversation? First of all, it wasn't even could we have a conversation. You said, I wanted to ask you to see if you were okay. That's not the energy that you gave. And Lord knows for me to be on Kyle's side about anything, but that point that Kyle is making is true, Sutton. When it comes to Erica, this is what I will say. That's why I put in my last review that everybody is full of shit. Not just Sutton. Everybody is full of shit. Kyle, Dorit. That's all I got right now because everybody else didn't really say anything. But Kyle and Dorit in particular are full of shit because y'all sat at that little meeting that y'all had and y'all gave y'all own little fucking problems too, okay? But then when Sutton want to sit at the table, now nobody got nothing to say at all. And now all it's, oh, Sutton say something, Sutton say it. But Sutton, you're also full of shit because all of that energy and that big dog woof woof energy that you had when you was on the phone with Garcelle and when you seen Kyle, when you seen Erica, you backed fucking pedaled. You still said what you had to say, but you fucking backpedaled and you was kind of forced into that conversation. Facts of the matter. So to me, everybody is, let me stop saying something. Everybody's full of shit as far as I'm concerned. Every fucking body here is full of shit, okay? So they talked about whether or not the girls should, Sutton and Erica should make up. And Crystal was like, well, I talked to Erica. And then they showed like a flashback of a couple of days before. And she was like, Erica pretty much was just like, I don't have nothing to say to her, and there's nothing for us to talk about. And Crystal was like, well, what if she comes up to me and apologizes? She's like, I don't care. I don't want to talk to her at all. So then Kyle, being messy, Kyle's like, well, I don't like it, when we all together and if I'm at a table, with a whole bunch of friends, a small intimate thing, and I know that this person has a problem, I would like try to address it, even if we need to put a Band-Aid on it. And like Crystal and everybody else said, why put a Band-Aid? A Band-Aid is not going to fix the situation. This is not a Band-Aid situation. And I thank God so much for Crystal saying, look, they can just simply be cordial. And being cordial to Kyle is being fake. That's not being fake. Everybody at this table knows that we don't care for each other, but we're grown ass adults, so we can still sit at the same table with each other. Who gives a fuck? We're all grown around here. It is what it is. And like Crystal said, they do not have to be friends. And I stand by what I say. It's not important to Erica, whatever her situation with Sutton is, because they're not really friends. The majority of the girls on this show, they're not really friends. Let me tell you who I think is truly friends. I think Kyle and Dorit are really friends. I think Kyle and Lisa, even though Lisa to me is nobody's friend, they're friends. Sutton and Garcelle are really friends. Crystal and Garcelle are really friends. That's about it. Y'all are all not really cool with each other. Y'all are co-workers. So no, I don't fuck with my co-worker. Not really, but we all got, a job to do at the end of the day, which is this show. So I'm gonna be here. Look at my fat ass. Look. I didn't ask you to interrupt my video. But yeah, y'all, that's all. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm out. Bye.